Jordan Porter's Game. We're here at day 2 of PAX. It's a busy Saturday. I know I've been running around a lot. So I got Stu here. We're here at SteelSeries. So we're going to take a look and kind of see what's going on in the next Siberia line of their headsets. So why don't you kind of tell me what's going on?
Sure. So Syberia has been an icon in SteelSeries history for the last 7 years, and it's a gamer favorite. Really lightweight, super comfortable, and we don't want to mess with a good thing. So instead of just upgrading Syberia V2, we decided to design a whole new product in the Syberia line that still features a lot of the favorite parts of the original Syberia. So to start with, we kept we added a steel arc across the top here, and we kept the suspension design of that made our Siberias famous. So instead of having to adjust the headset when you put it on, you simply just put on the headset and it fits perfectly on where your head is. So, if you got a big head, you can stretch it all the way down here. If you got a little head, it'd probably end up somewhere here, but ultimately comfortable, it lifts it, it provides a lightweight feel to it. Plus you have these extra squishy cushions on the side. These are actually memory foam cushions. Underneath the headband, we added little memory foam pillows as well. On the outside of the headset though, we've done a couple unique things. One of which is we did a flat non-tangled cord. You'll notice that there's no inline control for volume or mute microphone. So we built it right into the headset. So you actually just turn this dial on the outside of the headset, and that'll mute and unmute the microphone. On the other side, by turning this dial, that's actually how you adjust the volume. That way, when you don't have to fumble around looking for your line controls, you always know where your ears are. Right, this right here. That's neat. Yeah, it actually acts as a switch. So, with the retractable microphone, comes out, hides away when you don't need it. When you mute the microphone though, you can see the little LED on the tip of the microphone that lets you know that I'm currently muting.
That's nice too, because these are still thick, flexible.
Right.
It seems like
Stays in place.
it's a lot burlier than a lot of like the other ones, like the fives.
Exactly.
Like those ones are a little thinner, but then your cups are smaller. So
right, cups are smaller, and we've actually done something different with this, which is why we have the little bit burlier of the stem, and that's the microphone is detachable.
Oh,
the reason we've done that is that's our mic that's going to come with the headset. Later on, we're going to offer a pro level mic. It's actually like a mini condenser mic, studio grade is, for those who like to stream, who like to record, have just needs for a more high definition microphone. So you'll be able to snap that on right on top of here and enjoy the benefits of that.
well, that's good. You're not looking at just the gamer aspect, but potentially the studio application or even more enthusiast level content creators.
Yeah, and sort of the merging of both those worlds. Like you have Twitch TV, for instance, where hundreds and thousands of gamers are streaming every day. Some of them only have 5 followers, and some of them have hundreds of thousands of followers. Either way, they need a better microphone experience. So,
right.
Each of the illumination cups or illumination rings on the outside are capable of 16.8 million colors. We haven't set the SteelSeries orange right now, but it has several different modes, including sort of a breathing effect where it fades in and out. But with the new software, which we'll talk about in a second, we have color shift. It allows you to set 5, 6 colors, maybe less, that it'll fade in and out of automatically. So you can take advantage of all the colors. You don't have to choose just one. You can choose 4 of your favorites and it'll fade between them.
That's nice, because some other companies do things like that. For instance, like with mice, you can set full points and they'll kind of breathe between them. But you're doing this in a different way in that, it's not just, well, I just want it to go to this color to this color. You're getting it to kind of mix up the game a little bit.
Right. And one of our presets is sort of this sunburst one where it starts at orange, fades to yellow, and fades back to orange and stuff. So it gives it this weird life, look to it. It's kind of cool. In addition, though, the entire driver is sealed inside this issue. You'll notice in the memory foam cushions, I'm going to move this out of the way. The memory foam cushions, the cushion wraps all the way around the driver unit. You can see that it presses down about halfway, but it also encompasses the sides of the driver unit. The reason for that is that it actually insulates the sound. So whereas our Syberia V2 is an open air headset, this has a closed back. So when that bass or the highs hit, you're getting all of it towards your ear rather than escaping, creating any resonant warp. So you get very nice lows that don't muddy, and you get nice voice price as well. And they're 50mm
would you find that, because not a lot of companies, especially gaming companies, look to make any kind of, obviously you can't do noise canceling because that runs into the whole issue. But I mean, more the noise isolation would help throw people into that immersion and keep them there.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you find that was a challenge to kind of do something like that?
It's actually one of the reasons we went with memory foam. Memory foam, for one, is really comfortable, but two, it's also really thick. It's a dense material. The suspension headband helps keep it light on your head, but the cushions keep a nice seal around your ear, providing both that sort of acoustic chamber, but also giving you a great amount of comfort while being indoors. The passive noise isolation of these is fantastic. And they might actually, speaking of noise cancellation, so you get passive noise isolation to keep outside sounds and inside sounds. But you also have active noise cancellation on the mic.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can tell by watching this, there's a lot of background noise in this place. If you could use these headphones in this environment, you would eliminate a lot of that background noise for the people receiving your voice. And that way they can hear you clearly.
So a lot of the times, like somebody's running, a lot of times they do like a simple fan flip noise out. It catches that small resonance and tries to filter it out. Do you have any idea of the tolerances that it would be looking for? No.
And all of that is handled by our software. So we also have auto mic compression. It adjusts according to the sound of your voice relative to the background noise.
Okay.
So in essence, it's dynamic. When I say no, it's more that I don't know what it is at any given time. Because if I'm talking like this, in a noisy environment, it's going to try to lower my voice as well as try to eliminate that background noise. So that sort of tolerance is going to shift as necessary.
And just the acoustics of small room, large room. I mean, precisely. You're never going to have a consistent signal in that term.
Right. And so since it's handled by the software, it can automatically adjust. It's not a hardware level thing. It's actually analyzing constantly. And that's all done by our new software. So SteelSeries engine's been around for about 6 years now. And we're doing our first really big update to it. We completely rewrite all the base code to it, built it from the ground up. It's called SteelSeries Engine 3, but it is all new. And it supports all kinds of crazy features. The active noise cancellation of the mic for one, control of these LEDs, the color shift that I talked about. You have the ability to turn on and off Dolby. You have the ability to turn off that auto mic compression. If you don't want it to adjust for you, then you can just leave it alone. It also has the ability to do what we call mic feedback or talkback, where you can actually hear your voice from the mic as a monitor in your ear, so you know exactly what you sound like and how loud you're doing, slight filter. Those are all features you can adjust. And you can adjust those features per game. So you can set up a game profile for Counter-Strike, and you can have the equalizer that focuses on mids and highs. Turn off voice compression, change all the different features you want to, and save it. So next time you load Counter-Strike, that profile will load automatically, and your audio will be just what you want it to be. You can also set that up for, say, Guild Wars, which has beautiful soundscape across the area. So you have this equalizer. It's meant to deliver a balance, sort of, when you're in a dungeon, the dark dominates still, when you're outside, very crisp,
On that note, if you're able to adjust, I mean, how finite can we expect? Because
it's a 10-band equalizer.
You say something like Counter-Strike, it's important to realize, where shots are coming from. So you get your resonance down in terms of, well, I'm X amount away, I can hear this, I have a good idea of which direction I need to be facing right in the corner. Are you looking for that kind of isolation, customized depth, so people can get the most out of their tournament gamers or
Right, so the 10-band equalizer and the ability to turn on Dolby allows you to do that. You probably want to take advantage of Dolby in any sort of multi-channel game where you're playing something with a great environment. Basically, if you're focused on competition, you want to get rid of as many effects as you can. So you probably turn on Dolby. You'll have an equalizer setting that focuses on the noise on the side. It's 10 bands, so you can pretty tuned in.
And with the software, yes, it needed to be updated. I'm glad that you guys have decided to build it completely over, from scratch. Because I think that's a lot of something people run into. That's an issue. I mean, you build on the same software for years.
Absolutely. I mean, that's happened in just about any software system.
Yeah.
You know, if you keep building and just staffing on features, it can get clunky. Whereas we may have been able to actually integrate all these things now. Our product integration is tighter, so we can interact and do things like color shift that we weren't able to do before. Our firmware and our software are written by the same team, so all the little details of communicating with the headset itself and with the mice is at a much finer level detail.
And have you found that that's worked as a benefit to the company to do that? I mean, try to keep it all in-house and get that. I mean, you create more of a synergy rather than trying to contact an outside source to get those things done.
Trying to work with various teams, yeah. So our product teams able to say we wanted to sing and dance, and there's software that goes there when you do that. So the other thing I was going to say is that we also have the ability to use this as an analog headset. So all the features that I just talked about, interaction with the software is provided by the optional USB sound. So this has Dolby headphone, Dolby Pro Logic 2X. It also features all the active noise cancellation and provides power to the headset for illumination. And that's it, you connect it with our ATM connector right there. You also have the option to use it as an analog headset. So if you want to, you can unplug the APIN connector from the soundcard and plug it into this connection to allow you to use it for PC. And we also have a connection where you can use it with your Mac, phone, tablet as a single connection.
So you're not just focusing on gaming. It's the core of it's there, but you're giving people the options like, hey, I really like this, I want to wear it.
If you invest in a high-end headphone, you want to use it wherever, whenever you can. And we want to give you the option to be able to use it with your tablets and phones. Use it with your, for instance, me, I have a big gaming rig at home, but I love using my MacBook for work. So this connection allows me to use my favorite headset with my Mac, and then go home and plug it in my USB sound card for my gaming. So it's really about, if I invest in a high-end headphone like this, being able to use it however it wants.
So with these, are you going to have any kind of other like options with them? Any other accessories that you can pick up to kind of go on a tangent? I mean, a lot of times people throw stuff in the box, it'll be like a fancy case or...
Sure, so, yeah, so first we obviously have holding the white one. You were playing with the black one earlier. We'll cover those two color options. As far as additional accessories, we're going to have the upgradable mic. We're still working on how we're able to want that to be, so that'll be available later on. We're also coming out with an anniversary edition. So you'll be able, this will go in pre-order September 17th for $199. There's a pre-order available for the anniversary edition. That's $249.99. The anniversary edition is celebrating 10 years of making awesome audio. Just to put it modestly. But it comes with a ballistic nylon case, and you actually get to be, there's a very limited number of these. I believe we settled on 1337. But we'll find that out soon. We'll build the units as we speak. And then that'll come with a ballistic nylon hard case, and you'll become a member of the Elite. Oh, you know what? It's actually based on the year we were from. 2004 was when the first Siberia came.
Okay.
So it's actually 2004 units. You'll be a member of what we call the Siberia Elite Club. And you'll, as a member of 2,000 people that own this special headset, we're going to have special events, special deals for you throughout the year where you get a big discount on our product. Basically, they're just our best customers who love SteelSeries.
Good. It's good to kind of give back in that sense, make something special for them.
Yeah, and that's the big that's the big upgrade. So the $249.99 gets you the hard case.
And it'll be interesting to see kind of what more you can do with these, because I know you guys have worked with outside companies in the past to try to make them something special, like their own limited runs or you know, gaming teams to try to.
Sure. I mean, gaming teams are it's what we do. They've been since a long time ago. When we first started founding guys, and they influence every bit of our product. You know, every time we get a prototype in, we send it out to a bunch of guys. Hey, what do you think? They're crucial, making sure that they're comfortable, that they can play with train for hours, and that the audio is right. Especially headsets like the H series that I talked about, that were released earlier this year. That's our pro line headsets. They had like just crucial feedback as they're developing that.
I don't know how far you can kind of go into this, but I was curious how a lot of people just kind of go through more of a normal testing process. You get your normal wear and tear. When you guys look at a product, especially if you're gamers, because we've known to, we're not always subtle in our reactions. So I mean, you guys have a good, like, rigorous kind of test to make sure that it'll at least put up with some of our, I'll just say, tantrums.
We're gamers too. We're gamers too. I can't tell you the number of people in our company that play games too and get just as frustrated. The language that I've been known to use when I play games is something I probably shouldn't say in this video. But throwing equipment is what we do. In the office, you'll see us, I think it was just last week, we were all decided to load up old school Quake just for the fun of it. And nothing gets you more mad than when you're moving at 100 miles an hour through that game and somebody snipes you and you just, yeah, things get beat up. So that's one of our testing processes. Of course, we have standard, tolerance tests at the manufacturer as well, giving them to our pro teams. When you get stuff for free, you tend to be more abusive than if you had bought it, so they're even more mean to it. They respond to it with the headset, so they're all like, yeah. So then we get feedback on what broke, what did it, and how to do better with it.
And especially with since you're doing a new iteration of the software, I mean, you're doing a lot of things that, like, say, Windows would do to an extent with its basic drivers. I mean, if you look at a motherboard driver, you're going to have, your basic noise cancellation, basic, equalizing. Is that something that you found it hard to kind of combat with in terms of going up and above it?
Sure. So, like I was talking about earlier about firmware and software communicating more directly, they're doing it on a very generic level. When you build Windows, for instance, you're building it for any possible configuration of hardware ever. So the way they're manipulating, say, the microphone and the noise suppression, Windows has a built-in background noise eliminator. The analysis isn't going to be as good because it's not doing it in a different way. And it's doing it in a way that's general enough that whatever you plug in, they can apply. So we're doing it specifically for this headset, specifically for the Frost. And we know how that hardware reacts, so what possibilities are for this use. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, because I mean, it's a lot of things that people don't always. You're going to come back with, the PC. There's so many things going on in the background, and you never know when something's going to conflict.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that's one reason I like to see people kind of update their software after a while and not just build onto it. I mean, Windows is one of the most notorious for doing that over time, just cobbling on top of the next thing. So when you can, build up from there, add those tweaks that do something above and beyond specifically for your hardware, it's nice that you're able to do that focus and pull away from that kind of dependence.
Yeah, it's it's having that level of integration where the hardware meets the software. We're just now turning it over to what's called color shift mode. You'll notice the headset's turned purple, and now it's fading out, and it's going to turn into blue. And it'll continue to alternate. So these are the colors that we've chosen for this particular demonstration, but you can set it however you want. They're fading back to purple now. So that's one of the various settings for a color shift.
It's pretty subtle too in the way it does it.
For this one, this particular color shift is very direct. It actually fades off and then fades back on, as opposed to blending colors. This one is going to start off in pink, and it'll blend slowly between each color. And actually, you can see the colors meet in the middle, and then.
Oh, that's you're giving people the control to even go down to that level of.
Yeah, and I think so.
Not a lot of people do that.
When you talk about, I think one of the things that I love about what we do is that we pay attention to the details. We kind of look at every little aspect of the product and go, is that way? We looked at, for instance, how this cushion meets the ring here, and if there's any dimpling, if it looks weird when it does that. For instance, this is a prototype, and we're going into mass production very soon. But you can see that this LED is just a little bit dim in this one spot on this side. Right. That's something that drives us nuts. And we're going to fix that before we go. But it's those details that I think really make us stand out. Here's the fast cycling colors. If you look at how the ring's constructed, these laser edged rings have a very fine line. No, there's not a lot of light bleed. There's no hot spots. We use I think it's a total of 16 LEDs or something to make sure that all of them are evenly lit all the way around. Preventing hot spots, like I said. So it's just little details like that where we just sort of pour over the product and make sure it's just right.
Well, they look pretty. They look classy. I don't know how. I mean, it's a nice, sleek, easy design. They look comfortable. It's like when you get home, throw them on. To me, I don't know.
Have you tried them on?
I have not. I don't know if I want to embarrass myself on camera like that. I will do. Wow.
I think the first thing you notice is that despite looking like a large headset, it's pretty light.
Yeah.
And when it sits on the head because of the suspension design, it feels like
Yeah, I was going to be kind of concerned with how much pressure it would put on top of your head, but wow.
And that's a nice thing. So like a lot of headsets, you have to kind of click them into the right spot. So like that, these, like you said, you can just put on, and it just sort of like pulls and adjusts wherever you're doing.
Wow.
I like doing this with Steel.
All right. Well, I want to take a little bit of time with me today. I do appreciate it. Looking forward to
September 17th, the pre-orders go live, and if you pre-order, you have it in your hands by mid-October.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you very much. So next time, folks.